Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Play Megaman Battle Network. In the last part, we finished off the thing with Numberman. And now you might realize that we're actually here in Yai's house right now. I mentioned something about Pikachu last part. If you look at the rug here, it's actually Pikachu's skin, and on the couch there's actually a doll of Data from Mega Man Legends. And now we're actually going to go back to that area we couldn't progress last time due to the fact we didn't have Dex's link. And now we can progress onwards. Cool, now we can pass through. Let's find out what caused the bug in the metro line. Yeah, this is where you can really start to see the fact that this game really doesn't do much in terms of variation when it comes to the internet areas. It all looks the same. But we got a couple new enemies here, forgetting their names actually. But the one with the fire, actually, he's the source of one of my favorite chips in the game. 80 HP, and he's not that hard. His fire does travel forwards and aims towards you, so watch out for that. And the mine enemy... The mine, I'm not sure if it's placed randomly or if it's actually in the last place it was on the screen, but it's annoying nonetheless. Actually, no, these guys are just called Minies. Minies and... Volgears. I'm guessing Volcano Gears, what that means. The Volcano Gears, though, actually, if that is actually what the Vol stands for, are a source of a chip I do want to get eventually, the Fire Towers, but I won't get those until later in the game. And one thing I forgot to mention at this point is that I think with every time you level up your charge build, you can charge up one more level, because now I can charge up to a pink charge, which does 16 damage. And we got another new enemy. I believe these are still called Hardheads. Yep, they are. These guys, you might remember being rather annoying in 2 and 3. And they're even more annoying here because in 2 and 3, when they opened up like that, they had a little bit of a shaking tell. In this one, they have no tell at all. It's just, you have to know when it's going to happen. Their little cannonball attack will break the panel you're on if you move out of the way. And if I recall correctly, I'm not sure if it happens that way in this game, if you get hit by it, it just cracks the panel. I usually don't let them live long enough to find out. I'm just trying to remember. You might see me pausing every here and there. That's pretty much just me trying to remember which way I have to go, because this place is so samey from my test playthrough of this recording that it was so hard to find my way around. Anyway, what we got up here? Oh my God, you look ugly. Gulk, gulk, gulk. What do you think you're doing? Gawk, gawk. Gawk. Why would you want to do a thing like that? Gawk, 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 gawk. Not another World 3 colony. Get those rocks out of here. Gawk. You're the one who's going to be deleted, Lan. Let's go, Mega Man. Battle routine set. Execute. You gotta wonder what that conversation sounded like to people who weren't watching the video instead of just listening to it. Anyway, Stoneman here is rather annoying, honestly. He has no invincibility frames, actually, which is really good if you want to program advance him. He'll generate a stone cube, which you can destroy with enough buster shots, but it takes a long time. He'll make 3 random rocks fall in your area. They are completely random in terms of where they're gonna fall. Later on in the fight, he'll actually put his hands into the ground, and they'll actually shoot giant lasers of doom at you. 600 HP is a lot to take out, but if you can get off a Zeta Cannon or a B Sword, that's right, I said B Sword, not Life Sword. The sword program advance is B Sword. I'll get more into that later on in this game. If you can get close enough to him and pull that off, he does go down rather easily. He's honestly not hard at all. Though I do actually really like his design, and he actually goes down rather funnily in the manga. All that happens is that Gutsman throws Megaman at him, and he stabs him with a normal sword, and he just falls to pieces. In the anime, I remember him being rather weird, though. I don't even think he was in the original anime. I think he was in Access, wasn't he? Sadly, though, my folder could be better, so these bosses will take a bit longer to go down. And here's that laser attack I was talking about. Brah! There you go, while Dr. Octagonopus on us. Except it's pathetically easy to dodge. I think later versions of Stoneman will make them go a lot faster, so there's that, I suppose. No, I really do love this boss theme. Actually, I think you can tell when he's going to make the stone block appear when his eye flashes. I never noticed that when I was recording it. But Stoneman is rather easy. He just can take some time depending on your chip folder. So yeah. And for beating him, you get 2,000 Zenny. That's a set reward, by the way. Land, we did it! Right on! Let's get the security program running. Leave it to me. That took far too little shots. They should let the metro line open safely. Let's hurry up and get that power program. Okay. Let's get on out of there, shall we? For some reason, I did actually backtrack all the way out, so I figured, yeah, I'm not going to show that. But now we can actually use the freaking metro line and travel over to the government complex, which is actually Lab in another area entirely. You gotta love how differently these maps are from game to game. It's like they renovate the city like every year. Anyway, we can jack into this little stand here, and I'm gonna warn you right now: the viruses in here are not kind. These are later versions of viruses you're gonna fight in here, of ones that you would be fighting at this point, like that blue guy right there, that is a something. Well, first off, the wood thing is a popper. They're rather easy. They go down fire attacks especially easily. But the cloud thing, I'm trying to remember. That is a Cloudy 2. You usually wouldn't be encountering these until the end of the game, so yeah, those guys hurt. Luckily, my health does restore after every battle, so there's that. The poppers, though, rather easy. It's the Cloudies that are the big offender. But down here, we get a Recover 120. Jesus, they really wanted you to come here later in the game. So yeah, that's going into my folder for now. One thing I will say, though, my final folder for the final boss will not have recovers in it. And I noticed as I was reorganizing my folder there, I had a longsword S now. Meaning now I have access to B sword. But this would be Life Sword in all subsequent games, and mind you, Life Sword is a better technique, though it doesn't do as much damage, actually, I will say that. Anyway, this is Sal. I would voice her, but I don't feel like it. If we talk to her and actually get some food from her, we actually have the option to net battle her. And if you're a Mega Man fan like I am, you remember her net navy is one of the most painful things in the classic series. Woodman, why? If you have fire elemental chips like fire towers, this guy goes down really easily. Sadly, I don't. I'm actually tempted to possibly grind for those off-screen in between the next two parts. I might. Keyword. He likes to jump all over the place, cause some random wood towers to appear. They are completely random. His chip's pretty good, though. He'll eventually do this attack, which he just stays still and actually makes some good attack advantages. Then he has these seed attacks, which just do that random wood tower that follows you. Anyway, right here I have B sword, except I realize I also have area steal, so I'm going to put those in the reverse order. What B sword is that if you have sword, wide sword, and long sword all off the same code in a row, you get it, first off. And unlike life sword from 2 onwards, which is one concentrated attack that does around 300 damage, beast sword is 6 swords you can use at any time, except they have random effects between the 3. It can either be a normal sword, a wide sword, or a long sword. I actually kind of like this because it does do over the 300 damage of the original life sword, so it is useful, I will say that much. Not as good as life sword in terms of usability, but still powerful. But Woodman's not that hard anyway, although if you're playing later games, and you're lightning elemental, good luck! Then again, I don't even think yeah, actually no, Woodman, as far as I can remember, does not return at all. Unless he's in, Blue Moon or freaking Team Colonel. Anyway, we can jack into this TV right here, and obviously get something. What is it, and where is it first off? Is it on the left? Oh, but either way, we have a new enemy here, the original Cloudy enemy. These guys are much, much easier. Pretty much what the cloudy enemy types like to do is send 2 clouds at you at once, and they'll hover over the column that you were on. Normally that's not that big of an offender, but when you get to later versions and they start doing more damage and they get faster, that does get annoying. I know this from later games in the series. Later cloudies. But they're nothing that offensive, actually. Cloudy 2s, though, can go screw themselves. And what's really funny is that we won't be encountering Cloudy 2s in another area until the end of the game. And I mean the final area, so yeah. Anyway, we can also jack into this vending machine. I almost said cooler for some reason. And we can do some stuff in here. And, oh, actually, I was turning on Netflix, that's right. And here we got a Spreader J chip. And I also decided to check if I can actually do something, and once you know it, I can. I have a spreader H, I, and J. That is a program advance in of itself. I'm going to put that into my folder right now, actually, but that is Zeta Spreader. See, what Spreader does is, it's pretty much the, shotgun and cross-gun chips, except it covers the entire enemy area, or at least a 3x3 area. And Zeta Spreader is you can do that as many times as you want to within a 5 or so second span. It's kind of broken. Later games would, I believe, introduce elemental versions of the spreader. I believe. And on the opposite side of the area, which this is actually Scilab, the other place was the Waterworks, we can jack into its vending machine and do something in here. And it's over here, and we got 5,000 spendings. That's probably going to go into an HP memory or something along those lines. Anyway, to progress on, you need to talk to this lady and say yes to her twice. Because now we can actually use the elevator and go up to see our father. And this area looks completely different in every game after this. Then again, so does everything in this world. Anyway, you can jack into this computer like you could in Battle Network 2, and I think this area actually... No, actually, did the lab look the same in 3? Actually, I think it did. And we got a High Cannon J. I'm going to replace that with one of my Cannon A's because that means I may have less of a chance of getting a program advance off. If I find a certain high cannon, I can make another program advance there entirely. But with that, I'm going to need to end this off here. Thank you guys for watching. Rate, comment, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. My neck hurts for some reason. And next time on Let's Play Megaman Battle Network, we're going to be continuing on, seeing what we can do in the later areas. See you guys then.